What's up, my giant-sized fan things? How you all doing? Hope you're all keeping safe out there. Today I'm continuing my HULKAMANIA, well, I was going to say month, but it's more than a month now. My HULKAMANIA series with the latest acquisition to my collection, the Marvel Legends Deluxe release, the Maestro. And this is a figure I've been looking forward to for quite a while, and, you know, spoilers, but it's a damn good figure. I managed to pick this guy up from... Who did I get it from? Yeah, it wasn't Toys R Us, it wasn't In Demand, definitely wasn't Kapow. Ah, Comics and Cocktails, that was it. Comics and Cocktails. Great site. I normally get like 99% of my Marvel Legends from them. Great store, free shipping in the UK, great customer service, highly recommended. Okay, right. As always, you know my spiel, a little bit of backstory of the Maestro. The Maestro is technically the Hulk. Well, possibly. As in, the Maestro first appeared in Peter David's The Incredible Hulk, Future Imperfect. It was a two-part story where the Hulk at the time was the intelligent, like, Professor Smart Hulk. He was transported to a dystopian future to help stop a crazed dictator called the Maestro, who happened to actually be the Hulk himself. Hundreds of years in the future, driven mad by nuclear fallout, and just generally an awful, awful person. In many ways, like the worst parts of Bruce Banner's personality manifested into this evil, just vile Hulk who just took over everything. I'm not going to tell you how that ended. It's a good story, it's a good book if you can find it, it's inexpensive, it's a good read. But ever since then, the Maestro has always been sort of like a looming threat for the Hulk. There's been times where Bruce Banner's been afraid he's going to slowly turn into the Maestro again, or he's afraid that he'll actually eventually become the Maestro despite his best efforts not to be, and that's always something that could possibly happen to him. The Maestro's appeared in not many like main continuity things. The last time it was like in the main 616 continuity was... Actually, I think it was in Old Man Logan, the ongoing series of a few years ago, where a version of the Maestro found the inbred, incestuous Hulk children from Old Man Logan's universe, and they all hopped over to the main 616. He set up a commune with them, and he came into conflict with Old Man Logan. That didn't end well, really. Then a few months later, they ran into each other again and had like a big climactic battle, and spoiler alert, things didn't quite go well for the Maestro. Or should I say that Maestro, because it's entirely possible that might just be a different version of the Maestro, because he's appeared in like multiple different timelines and different possible futures. And wait, if I say Maestro, I mean Maestro. Like, the whole feeling I've actually been saying it either way, but it should be the Maestro. For years I called him the Maestro because I had no idea how you pronounce that word. But anyway, what's like going on with him now? Well, like last year or so, Marvel have released some pretty good like prequels for Future Imperfect. Just, you know, called The Maestro was the name of the first series. That was followed up by The Maestro War and Pax, which is another great series. There's also like a really good Future Imperfect storyline in the Secret Wars a couple of years ago, you know, when they recreated Battle World. That was really good. And like coming up later in the year, you've got another like Maestro story, which is called World War M, which I'm guessing is World War Maestro, a play on the World War Hulk storyline made a couple of years ago, which seems to be the Maestro versus the Abomination and Namor, which seems it'll be interesting. The Maestro has appeared in a couple of other things as well, like video games. He appears quite often because he's actually a pretty good like video game villain, or, you know, final boss. He was in that Avengers game as like a DLC villain. That was really good. Realm of Champions and Contest of Champions, he was in there. He was actually pretty cool in that, as like the guy who beat everyone else and just took over the place and ran it for a very long time. I think they killed him off at some point, but I'm not entirely sure. I've never played the games. I just like the idea of them. And he was also in the comic books as well, actually. There was a couple of comic books of Contest of Champions, and he was in that as well. Really cool, actually. He had like a suit of Iron Man armour from a universe where Iron Man became the Hulk. Had magic sword, Captain America's shield, all sorts of like high-tech or things he'd stolen or taken as trophies from other champions he'd defeated. That was quite a good series, actually, if you can find it. I recommend tracking it down. And obviously, Maestro's had a few figures over the years. Probably the most iconic... Oh, it was the Toy Biz... It was the Incredible Hulk cartoon sort of period, like the 1996. I think this came out in 1997. It was the Hulk transformations, like Subline. The Maestro figure there was just brilliant. It was the Maestro, and he had like all these trophies. So he had like a bandolier, like a chest belt of like different face plates and helmets and masks from villains and heroes he's defeated. He had Wolverine's adamantium skeleton strapped to his wrist like a weapon. He had Captain America's shield and Thor's hammer wrapped around chains to use as weapons. He had Doctor Strange's cape. It was really, really cool. And I think I remember seeing it once. I never got it. It's an expensive figure to get nowadays, but it still looks really good. There was a that Contest of Champions / Realm of Champions figure, version of the Maestro, had a figure released in the 3 3/4 inch Marvel Legends series line, like 2014, something like that. It was a good looking figure. It was just small, because it was a 3 3/4, but it was a interesting figure to get. I couldn't find it actually. I would have liked it if I could have got it. But in terms of Marvel Legends, he's had one Marvel Legends figure before, and that was a pretty iconic one. That was in the Apocalypse build of Figure Wave, and that was like one of the best Marvel Legends they released around that time. It was really well sculpted, it was textured, it was painted well, it had loads of craggly details. It didn't come with the this was a bit of a bone of contention at the time. It didn't come with all those like fallen hero and villain accessories, and a lot of people wanted that. I kind of wish it did, but it doesn't detract from that figure. And spoiler alert, it doesn't detract from this figure I'm going to review today, that neither of them come with all those accessories, because, well, if you've collected Marvel Legends or Marvel figures for any like reasonable length of time, you've got loads of bits and bobs you can stick around him or give him to you, so it's no great loss. And yeah, that was it really. Just a quick overview of the Maestro. Really cool, alternate future evil version of the Hulk, and a really great character. And speaking of really great, this figure is really, really, really good. Now, as you can probably guess, he's like 99% the 80th anniversary Incredible Hulk Legends figure, done in a slightly deeper green, some really nice like deep shading in the recesses to give him more definition of his muscles, and his pants are now like a sort of dirty, not dirty, that's the wrong word, khaki brown, and it looks really good. Obviously he's got some extra accessories. Well, first of all, the head sculpt's different. It's a nice head sculpt. The only thing I don't like about it, and it's actually my only real complaint about the figure overall, is it's got like the one side of his hair is sweeping off into the wind. I understand why they do this, it makes figures look more dynamic, but for like static poses, I just wish like the head was symmetrical. Like I just wish like it just had natural, just sat there hair. I mean, I can live with it. If worst comes to the worst, I can take the hair off and resculpt it and paint it myself. If it really bothers me that much, it's an option. He also comes with these wrist bandoliers. No, not bandoliers. I've said bandoliers far too many times today. Wrist braces, that's it. They're done in gold. Look really cool. They're sculpted to look sort of damaged and pitted. Adds a little bit of realism, which is kind of cool. Same as the gold coin necklace he's got going on. That's really nice. It's something really iconic from the Maestro. And of course, in terms of accessories, he also comes with a pair of fists as well as the open hands. The same ones that came with the regular Incredible Hulk, and he looks good with them. My only real complaint is that being a reuse of that body, he has the torn pant legs, which is something he's had in recent years. I said like in Old Man Logan storyline, he was like this, and in the Avengers, pardon me, and in the Avengers game, that's better, he looked like this. But I kind of wish he had popper trousers and boots like he had in the comics for years. But apart from that, I understand why. It's a budgetary thing, but the figure still looks great. And you can take those gold accessories off, have him without them, and he just looks like a really good older bearded Hulk, going a bit bald. I think this is like the most Hulk Hogan the Hulk has looked in a while, because this, all it needs is like a bandana, and it'd be a pretty good giant green Hulk Hogan. That's actually pretty damn cool. And speaking of cool, you can give all that bling that he comes with to the 80th anniversary Hulk, because it's just designed to slip over that sculpt. It looks really good. I actually think it looks nice, like the gold contrasting with the purple and the more vibrant green of this Hulk. It's interesting. Hulk has kind of looked like this at times, though I think he had a scraggly beard at the time. You know, it's an option you can do if you want to have the Hulk be a bit more blinged out. And yeah, oh, one thing actually, yeah, this I kind of like. If you take that 80th anniversary Hulk head and put it on the Maestro body without any of the added accessories, you get a pretty decent version of the Incredible Hulk from the 1962 cartoon, was it? Or the 1966? You know, the old cartoon. Come on, it's 1982. That was it, 1982. Was I thinking 62? Oh no, wait. Yeah, I know. Doesn't matter. Anyway, that was a great cartoon, and this figure looks, with that 80th anniversary head on him, quite a bit like it. The greens don't quite match, but a little bit of shading of the 80th anniversary head would make it work. Maybe paint the eyes yellow. It's an option. It's something they might do at some point. It just looks cool at the end of the day. That's just it. Okay, so I'm just going to compare the Maestro to a few of the Marvel Legends in my collection. Obviously, up first, I've got to compare him to the 80th anniversary Hulk, and as I said, you can quite clearly see it's the same base body, just some added extra accessories in different colours. They both look really good together. They've got the essence of, you know, like younger Hulk, older Hulk, and they just look really good together. You can definitely see how the Maestro is. I don't know why, but he seems to be more powerful in build. I think it's like the added bulk of those braces around his wrists, but they bulk his arms out slightly, and he does look, as he should, slightly stronger, which I like. Here he's next to another Hulk in my collection, the Joe Fixit Build-A-Figure. I suppose technically they're both Gamerverse figures, if this Maestro is more based on his appearance in that Avengers game. So it's nice to have two different personalities of Bruce Banner sort of on display. And of course, Maestro is suitably larger than the Grey Hulk. Here he's next to the She-Hulk that came out recently. Look really good. There's actually a version of the She-Hulk in the Maestro universe, but it was a really crappy like spin-off book, so it's not worth mentioning really. But yeah, again, they look good together. Here's Maestro against the Gamerverse Abomination Build-A-Figure. And Abomination looks really massive compared to him. I wasn't expecting him to look this much bigger. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Ooh, I'm kind of tempted to track down another Abomination head and just resculpt it to be more in line with the classic Abomination over the big fins on the ears. Just gives him head options, because that's a really good body. What's a thought? Here he's next to the Juggernaut. They look really great together, the two big beefy guys. I kind of wish they'd found a way to put the Juggernaut's lower, like, everything from the waist down onto this figure, so he'd have proper trousers and those big chunky boots which he had in the comic books. That'd have just been nice, but I can live without them. Wishful thinking, I wish he'd had them, but it doesn't ruin the figure, the fact he hasn't got the big stompy boots and some silk trousers like he had in the comics. Here he is next, just like a more standard sized figure, the 80th anniversary Captain America. As you can see, Maestro really towers above like an average Marvel Legend. I still find it weird, like mind-blowing, that like that Captain America, or a figure that size, is like say 21 pound. Maestro is only 31, and you can't tell me there's only 50% more plastic involved. There's a lot of chunk and weight in the Maestro, and just a lot of these deluxe class, release figures. You're really getting your money's worth with these guys. Okay, and there's one comparison I absolutely have to do. It's this new Maestro against that classic Toy Biz one, and just look at the size difference between these two. But at the same time, there's things I really like about both. Like the old one had this wonderful warty, wrinkly skin texture and paint, which I think maybe this one could have done with like a few warts or just something to show the age a bit more than just the beard. And yet again, this old one had the pants and the boots and the sash around the waist. That's really cool, which is really, as I say, reminiscent of what he wore in his first appearance in Future Imperfect. But at the same time, this new one is so large and imposing, and just a real beast of a figure. I just kind of wish I could take some of those details and transport them over, but at the same time, like, if you got the old one, you can get the new one if you want, but you may not need to if you're looking for that like artistic look of this classic one. same as if you can get this new one, there's no reason not to get it, because it's a perfect Maestro to have on your shelf, to have in your displays, and yeah, I really like it. So, yeah. Anyway, folks, that was my review. I hope you liked it. If you can't tell, I really like this figure. I think it's borderline must-have for a Marvel Legends collector, because it's that thing where it's a re-release of a figure you've probably already got, but at the same time it's doing something new with it that's really adding character to it, making it more than just a repaint or a slight retool. It's a completely different character that also fits in perfectly. And I mean, like, just look at this. This is a little throne I threw together over a day or so with some foam and some paint and adding a few accessories from my Marvel Legends accessory bin. And it looks amazing. This is a brilliant display piece to have inside of a cabinet or on a shelf. And it's realistically, it's like, this is less than £40 worth of figure foam and paint, and you can't go wrong with that, really, can you? Well, anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please leave a like and a comment, and if you've not subscribed already, please subscribe to the channel for more, hopefully, getting better than mediocre content. And yeah, that's it. So until next time, folks, I want you all to stay safe, stay sane, and keep on rolling. And I'll see you all next time. Ta-da!